from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good morning. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you in the Storm Center this morning, continuing to track the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms across the region. The region remains under a tornado watch everywhere shaded in red. This includes all of Southern Maryland here. This all goes until 2 o'clock. And now we're starting to get several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. And we actually just got a new one, which will prompt me to do a little bit of multitasking here as we do the live stream and as I try to update social media. So I'll try my best to talk you through what we do now have. And I'll start with the newest warning that there is. We do now have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for the DC metro area, including parts of northwestern PG County here. This goes until 12:30. DC metro area. And again, that goes until 12:30 for you. We have additional severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the areas you see there shaded in orange. That includes really from areas 301 here to the west. That's the area we've been highlighting thus far to be under the initial severe risk from this line that is continuing to move to the east. Let's go ahead and get that posted up. We'll save that. Come over here. And it looks like the radar is not on this right now. There we go. And we can really see right now where this line of storms is extending from near Chantilly, Virginia, down here south of Fredericksburg, getting into the northern neck. This is moving to the north and the east. So areas, again, really from 301 points to the west under severe thunderstorm warnings right now. This middle warning includes much of our local region. So this is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for parts, southwestern parts of PG and northwestern Charles County until 12:30. At 11:42, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from Mount Clair to near Stafford down towards Fredericksburg, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. The main hazards here are going to be 60-mile-an-hour winds and the potential for these storms to try to rotate. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Stafford, Waldorf, Dale City, Clinton, Fort Washington, Fort Hunt, La Plata, Fort Belvoir, Woodbridge, Quantico, Aquia Creek, Port Tobacco River, Lake Ridge, Mount Clair, Lorton, Newington, Friendly, Triangle, and Dumfries. So we will continue to track this line here. This line earlier in the day did have a tornado warning on it just to the southwest of Fredericksburg. You can see as we loop the radar here. This was back closer towards 11 o'clock where that pink polygon was towards Fredericksburg. We have since lost that tornado warning and now have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. And I'm really paying attention to the southern part of this line from Stafford just to the southeast of Bowling Green. This line is starting to strengthen a little bit and is going to continue to track here to the north and east. What I want to do is take a look and see what rotation we have going on with this storm, because that is going to be something that we want to track here over the next little bit. Let me bring you on over here. This is a look at our velocity mode of radar. This allows us to see where we have winds and where we have those winds, in which direction they're moving. Right now, and I know this gets a little technical, but we're starting to see some of these grays or reds kind of match up with these bright greens. That would be a little bit of rotation with these storms. Nothing that's overly concerning at the moment. This is rather disorganized rotation here approaching Fairview Beach, southern parts of Welcome and Nanjemoyne. But we will continue to watch this as it moves here to the east, because if we see additional tightening of this rotation, that could lead the National Weather Service to need to issue a tornado warning for parts of Charles County. Nothing like that's in effect right now, but looking ahead, that's what I'm monitoring with these storms that are continuing here to push to the east. I want to take you on over to back over to William Richmond Inc. radar here. I want to get a storm timeline on this line that's continuing to concern me as it tracks here to the north and east, and really much more like east-northeast at this time. We note that this is moving at about 35 to 40 miles an hour here. So this would be a general look at storm timing for this initial line that is strengthening. No active tornado warnings right now, but the potential for damaging wind gusts upwards of 60 miles an hour, the potential for hail as well, upwards of 1 inch in diameter, and yes, a threat of rotation along with flooding rains. So as we take a look at timing here, we're going to be pushing this into the La Plata area by about 12:17. So in La Plata, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning right now. You have about 15 minutes or so as these storms continue to track here to the east. We're talking about Waldorf by about 12:25, 12:30, getting on over towards Mechanicsville here, and about the next 40 minutes or so, pushing into Prince Frederick by about 12:48, and potentially getting into Huntingtown down towards Lesby in about the next hour. So if you're in any of those locations, nothing's going on right now, but we do note that these storms are moving your way and should begin to set in here over the next hour. And yeah, that potential is still there for these storms to try to rotate as they continue to track here towards the east. We do note that we have a decent amount of lightning beginning to occur with these storms, that lightning count's going up. That's indicative of strengthening these storms beginning to strengthen. That also leads me to believe that we have a little bit of hail and the potential even for a little bit of rotation as well. And again, I'm really watching this area that's going to be just along the Potomac River here near Nanjemoyne. The rotation couplet isn't exactly the best we would want to see, and I'll turn the warning off real quick. Where you see this little bit of red right here, I would like to see that match up with this bright green to indicate strong rotation. That's a little bit discombobulated. You want those right next to each other, not elongated like that. So that is good news. However, that potential is still there as these storms cross over the river to try to rotate. So I want you to be on guard here in Nanjemoyne, Pittsco, welcome, on over towards La Plata and Belle Alton here over the next 15 minutes or so. These storms to the north aren't exactly rotating nearly as... And it looks like we have a new tornado warning actually coming in here. This is going to be northwest of Washington, D.C. Yep, this is going to be right up here north of D.C. on over towards Fairfax and Montgomery counties here. This is an active tornado warning including Potomac, Great Falls, and Reston here just southwest of Rockville and western parts of Maryland. I'm going to go ahead and get this posted up to our social media accounts. This is an area of that we don't technically cover here on JB Weather, but it is a highly populated area. And we do have some followers and people of interest on over towards this area. And we have a new tornado watch coming in for the eastern shore as well. So give me a moment to kind of sort through all of this as we have all of these new alerts coming in. Give me one moment. So we have a new tornado warning. All right, let's get that posted up. Let's attach the radar image to that. And I do quickly see as I look over some questions about when is it going to hit me? When is it going to be clear where I'm at? I can tell you that the best way to get that information, because I don't have the ability to continuously look at the comments, head over to jbweather.net/radar. That allows you to zoom into these storms and gives you access to Futurecast, so you can time these storms out for exactly where you are. So that's going to be the newest update here. It says tornado warning northwest to DC. The tornado watch has now been our new tornado watch has been issued for this lower eastern shore, lower parts of the northern neck here, down towards the Virginia Beach area. This is a brand new tornado watch, and that goes until 6 o'clock this evening. Our region remains under a tornado watch. All of southern Maryland, that goes until 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to continue to watch this as it tracks here to the north and east, and it's really going to be this line of storms. Let me get you to a more regional view of radar here. Let's use the national radar. As we zoom out, you can see where this long line of storms is extending here from near State College all the way south of Richmond, down here to the North Carolina, South Carolina border. All of this is moving to the north and east. This is going to be our first round. And then back here, you see additional lines beginning to form. These are going to track into our region later on this evening. Those are going to be the storms we're watching tonight. Locally, though, this line is beginning to push on, and I want to come back in here to this tornado warning northwest to D.C. This is, again, going to be going till 12:15, I believe. Yep, until 12:15. This is a potential tornado right over Reston. We're moving this to the northeast at about 38 miles per hour. So that's going, as we zoom out to encapsulate all of that. That's going to push this here into Reston and Great Falls and Potomac here over the next 15 minutes, getting into Rockville in about the next 19 minutes. And if you have any interest here in parts of Howard County, northwest of Columbia, you do want to be aware that this storm will be pushing towards you here over the next hour. The Baltimore region isn't under a tornado warning at all, but you could potentially see this line push through with tornadic capabilities in the next hour and a half. So keep that in mind. Again, locally, we have no tornado warnings, which is great news. And I do want to double check to see what we're looking at with rotation with this southern storm here that's pushing just north of Fairview Beach. Let's go ahead. Let's get that velocity loaded up here. And yeah, that rotation still seems very broad and very weak at this moment. It's just on shore now in the southernmost parts of Nanjemoy here, right on the peninsula here, getting close to Welcome along Route 6. Yeah, this red we would like to see further to the south here where we have those higher returns or vice versa, but we don't have that. However, south here into King George, you see where we do have small little mesovortices trying to spin up at least a little bit. And we have a new severe we have plenty of updates beginning to come in. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's for northern Maryland. So if we zoom out here a little bit, we'll be able to see that. Well, let's get over to normal radar to show you. So now we have an entire wall here of severe thunderstorm warnings that extends from Frederick County, Maryland through Montgomery County, DC, PG, Charles County into King George County in Virginia. So this is an entire wall here where you can see we have those severe thunderstorm warnings with that one tornado warning here with this tornadic storm pushing into Rockville. I want to see if we can't get a velocity scan on that. It's not the best looking since it's so close to the radar. I can see though where we are watching for that potential. Yeah, let me come back over here. So it's going to be right in here where we have that little bit of a notch trying to get winds in. This is going to be right near Potomac as it tracks here to the north and east. So Potomac, Rockville here over the next little bit. Those are going to be the regions that are going to be under the most imminent tornado threat. No active reports of a tornado though in that region, which is great news. But I am also watching this storm down here southeast of Richmond. You can see with the warning its trajectory here starkly to the northeast up towards Tappahannock. That's a severe thunderstorm warning till 12:30. NWS in Wakefield is suggesting this is moving at 65 miles per hour. I don't know if it's necessarily moving that fast, but that would put this southernmost storm, which has the potential to rotate a little bit, into Tappahannock in about half an hour, then potentially crossing the Potomac into St. Mary's County as we head towards 1 o'clock. You see St. Indigo's there at 1 o'clock, Valley Lee 12:59, Piney Point, Tall Timbers 12:57, getting on over towards Colton's Point there in St. Mary's County 12:54. So I'm going to watch this storm. It does have a history of showing rotation, which is a little bit concerning to me, especially as these storms track north and east here towards the northern neck and then across the Potomac River. I do see a quick question. Will this tornado hit St. Mary's County? What about Calvert County? Which part of this will impact Annapolis? Lots of in my backyard questions. And not that I don't want to answer them, But a lot of those questions are easily answered with one statement that all of these are moving north and east. We have no confirmed tornadoes on the ground right now. The general storm timing and our timing tool only goes out about an hour, so that gives you an idea about that. And if I were to turn that off, if we zoom out here a little bit, and we're getting a little busy here on our radar picture. If we take this entire line here, that is not what we wanted. Let's take this entire line here. Let's push this northeast at about 45 miles per hour. A general look at storm timing here. We're talking Leonardtown in about the next half hour or so with this initial storm, but I'm really watching this southernmost storm for you. This is pushing into Calvert County over the next hour or so. Same deal in Annapolis, the same hour or so, as all of this kind of rushes here to the north and east. But again, for those of you asking about specific town locations and wanting to know what's going to be happening where you are, head to jbweather.net/radar. That over there, you get access not only to radar, but Futurecast as well. It has a updated 1 hour Futurecast that updates every couple of minutes with what's actually happening, then a large scale 48-hour Futurecast for you as well. But we have plenty of storm activity, and this isn't going to be the only deal today. Let me take you over here towards Futurecast, and it shows how those storms down to the south, how they push in here, doing a pretty good job of showing what we have ongoing, pushing into our region by about 1 o'clock or so, with that potential for severe weather and some tornadoes as well. Not widespread tornadoes, which is good news, but that potential does exist as well. Pushing this on forward here now, we see a little bit of clearing as we head out towards 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which might give you a false sense of security. At that point, the tornado watch will have expired. But if we break out in enough sunshine, and we don't need a whole bunch, but just a little bit this afternoon and evening, that could lead to the development of an additional round of severe weather as we push towards 7, 8, 9 o'clock as we head on over. So we are going to continue to watch this. I do think the potential for heavy rain is likely this evening, as that second round likely will push through. The question is, will it have the potential for severe weather? And I think the potential could be yes, given how quickly this line is trying to push on through. What I want to do right now is quickly come back over here to radar, but what I really want to do is take a look over at our traffic cameras, because they should be showing us at this point now really what's going on across parts of the area that are getting the most impacted. And this is a really good shot here. This is going to be the 301 bridge here at the Harry Nice Bridge looking towards Virginia. You can see where we're starting to get the darkening skies, the outpush of clouds here. And this is here in Newburgh. No rain, it looks like, just yet, but you can see the wind starting to pick up a little bit. And we're going to begin to see some heavy rain fill into this picture here. And right where we have this camera, we come back over here towards radar. That camera is located right here north of Morgantown, looking right into these storms here. Now we're starting to get some of these nasty storms here pushing into Nanjouan, pushing into Pittscut, Indian Head, Dahlgren. These storms are pushing here to the north and east, and the National Weather Service is continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Charles County here. This continues until 12:30. At 12:05, severe thunderstorms were located along the line extending from near Woodbridge to near Quantico to near Nanjouan Creek, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Damaging winds will cause some trees and large branches to fall. This could injure those outdoors as well as damage homes and vehicles. Roadways may become blocked by downed trees. Localized power outages are possible as well. So locations impacted include, but are not limited to, with this storm: Waldorf, Dale City, Clinton, Fort Washington, Fort Hunt, La Plata, Fort Belvoir, Woodbridge, Port Tobacco, Lake Ridge, Mount Clair, Lorton, Hialeah Valley, Newington, Friendly, Dumfries, St. Charles, Cherry Hill, Mount Vernon, and Aggie. So we are beginning to note we have a uptick here in lightning as well. With these storms as they're pushing north and east, I'm going to get an updated storm track here on these. I'm sure we'll be getting a new severe thunderstorm warning issued for at least parts of our region here very soon. So as you push this north and east here, give you just a general look at storm timing. I want to get this over to our social media accounts as well, so bear with me for that. get that over to good old Facebook. And I will say this is the first year, well, not the first year, but I have a new set up in the office this for the severe storm season, and that allows me to see more of your comments, which sometimes is always a good thing because I can get distracted with them. But yeah, so we are starting to see. I want to make sure that I actually post it. Okay. We are starting to see the worst of this weather begin to push through Nanjemoy into Welcome. The Plata, you're likely seeing a darkening of the skies right now. I do want to check back over with our camera out here in Newburgh on 301, the Harry Nice Bridge. Typically, what is a white sky in the foreground, or in the background rather, is now just all gray as winds are picking up. We're looking at an increase of the darkening skies, and that rain is right on the doorstep of Newburgh right now, beginning to push slowly across 301. I do want to see if we have a new look at rotation with these storms. Let me bring it back on over here. And the good news is I don't see any organized areas of rotation. With that said, though, I do see smaller areas that are trying to rotate. The two areas, and it might be easier if I'm able to draw on this, so I need to come over here and show you. Let's bring it over to level 2. See if it's going to update for me. So the two areas I am watching right now, again, this is a little bit of rotation. We're not talking anything overly concerning, but something to watch is kind of in this region right here, northwest of Port Tobacco. We have a strong wind heading towards the radar. We have a much more kind of disorganized wind away from the radar. So we kind of have two separate areas of winds going away from the radar. And now if this were to become just one strong area of rotation, we saw this kind of coalesce a little bit, that would be much more concerning coming towards Pomfret. But that's something to watch because that could still happen. An additional area I'm going to be watching, it's going to be right down here near Welcome. This is, again, nothing too organized and very disorganized, but it's something to watch. And we just got a new radar scan in, and actually we do see a little bit of coalescing here, where we're starting to get this a little bit better, this a little bit better, and I say better not in a good way. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning now coming in for our region. Let me go ahead, let's zoom out. A new severe thunderstorm warning for St. Mary's and Charles County. This goes until 1 o'clock for you. Let's get the latest look at radar here. It's for all of these counties here shaded in orange, and I think you all know this means there will be very limited talking from me over the next couple of minutes, or the next minute or so as I post this over to our social media. It automatically gets posted, but I like to include the actual details of the warning. So let me come on in here. But you can see the latest information with what I still have up on the screen. Again, it's those areas shaded in orange under that active severe thunderstorm warning right now. This is going to be for southern Charles County and northwestern St. Mary's counties and Maryland until 1 o'clock. Severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Nanjemoy Creek to Pope's Creek to Colonial Beach to near Leedstown, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. All right, let's get that posted up on over to Twitter now. Save that. Come on over here. It looks like all right. Let's come back in here. Let's get into these storms here. So, new severe thunderstorm warning here. Now we're starting to get some overlapping polygons, which gets a little bit confusing. But we're talking Belle Alton, Dennisville, Hughesville, Charlotte Hall, Golden Beach, Mechanicsville, Chaptico, Clements, Leonardtown, Sandgates. This gets into Callaway. This is like California. This is like the 235 intersection there where the Wawa is, northwest of there. This goes until 1 o'clock. So I was reading a little bit of that warning text for you, but just to go back over it, at 12:10, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Nanjemoine Creek to Pope's Creek to Colonial Beach to near Leedstown, moving east at 40 miles an hour. Main hazard here is going to be 60-mile-an-hour winds that could damage some trees and large branches, and that could injure those outdoors as well as damage homes and vehicles as they push on through. So locations impacted include but are not limited to Waldorf, La Plata, Leonardtown, Sheridan Point, Pope's Creek, St. Clements Bay, Port Tobacco River, Waikamaca River, White Point Beach, California, Golden Beach, Hollywood, Waikamaco, Hughesville, Mechanicsville, Charlotte Hall, Cobb Island, Bryantown, Benedict, and Rock Point. So again, we want to move into the most interior portion of the house of a house that you live in. While we don't have a tornado warning right now, these storms will have the potential to try to spin up and produce some pretty strong winds. Get a new timeline of the warning Michael would like to know. And this is a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in. It looks like for northern portions of this line, so not for us. So let's get a new storm track, an updated storm track rather, on this line. This specific line here, moving east at about 40 miles an hour here. Let's get the warning box just back here. So this would be a general look at storm timing here for you. La Plata 12:15, so just about now. Getting on over towards Leonardtown in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so, right around 12:35 for you. Prince Frederick 12:45, Lusby 12:52, Lothian 12:55, Shadyside 1:03. So this is a general look at storm timing. It definitely could be plus or minus a couple minutes depending on if the storm speeds up or not. I do want to come in here and get the latest look at this rotation scan, see what we have coming in. And again, nothing that... There is a little bit of rotation within this line. They are much more mesoscale, though they're much smaller in nature, nothing super organized. Like if we look here just northwest of Newport, you see green and a little bit of red here, which is a little bit of rotation, but it's not significant and it's not tight. The same thing over here towards Belle Alton. So near Pomfret, like we were talking earlier, down here near maybe Swan Point, we are getting these smaller little currents, but we're not looking at any concise, consistent, significant rotation, which tends to be the case when we're talking about a line of storms pushing through. Typically, if we're looking for tornado potential, we're looking for storms that are racing out ahead of a main line, because when storms are by themselves, they're only dealing with the mechanics of that storm. When you have a line, all of these smaller storms within the line are all sharing all the same energy and shear and velocity, so that limits the ability for any one storm to become dominant and rotate. But again, we're still going to be watching the southern part of this line as well as it tries to get its act together, race here to the north and east. This is a look here over the last hour at how these storms have been progressing. I want to come over to Twitter, see if we have any new reports coming in. Nothing yet. I want to check Facebook as well. Let me kind of expand the screen a little bit. Let's come to the current radar picture as well. So it's great that we don't have any active tornado warnings. What we do have, though, is heavy rain, gusty winds, and plenty of lightning with these storms. So what I want to do is take a look at some of our traffic cameras. This is our best way to see kind of what's going on right now. So let's come on in here. I want to take a look at a couple of places. I want to see what's going on in the storm, and I want to see what's going on out in front of the storm. So yeah, this would be that Very nice bridge camera here looking towards Virginia back here. You could just see the heavy rain really becoming an issue across this region. I also want to see what's going on out in front of these storms. Let's take a look at Leonardtown right now. Nothing really going on. Let's see what's happening at the Thomas Johnson Bridge. And this is somewhat concerning, where you can actually see brighter skies right now. That's going to be indicative. We have a new tornado warning coming in as I say all of this. Doesn't look like it's for southern Maryland. Where do we have this at? So this is a new tornado warning back up here for Montgomery County. We've been talking about this here for the last little bit as this storm has continued to track north and east. These were the areas we were talking about earlier as we tracked this out. So this is going to be a tornado warning here for parts of Montgomery and Howard counties. We're still tracking this at about 40 miles an hour. So there's your storm timing. Let's get that warning box over here. Let me get this posted up on over towards our social media accounts. So again, bear with me for that. And this is until 12:45 p.m. I want to get the warning text on this as well. All right. So this is a new tornado warning. This is going to be for southeastern Howard County and east central Montgomery County until 12:45 this afternoon. At 12:17, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Aspen Hill or over Olney, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. The main hazard here, damaging winds, the potential for a tornado that's been radar indicated. For those in the direct path of a potential tornado touchdown with this storm, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, and windows may occur as well. This dangerous storm will be near Columbia 12:40. Do we have that time? Yeah, right around 12:40 or so. And then Ellicott City by 12:45. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include, but are not limited to, Fulton, Spencerville, Clovery, Simpsonville, Clarksville, Edner, Ashton, Norbeck, Sandy Spring, and Bricklow. So let me come back down here to southern Maryland, and let's just actually take a much more wide-scale look at all of this. We are continuing to track this entire line here. Let me get that storm track off for the time being. And if we put this here over the last hour, you can see the general progression of these storms here to the north and east. Earlier in the day, we were tracking that tornado warning for Spotsylvania County near Fredericksburg. That expired. Then we saw this entire line go severely warned. Then we saw tornado warning northwest of D.C., severe thunderstorm warning in our region. Now a tornado warning on up towards Montgomery and Howard counties. That goes until 12:45. We are now starting to see more of these storms push into the region, though. So the worst of this right now is moving right up along Waldorf, LaPlata, Dentsville, Newport. This is crossing the Wycomico River here, so Chapchico, Maddox, Bushwood, Colton's Point. You're up next. And we have these storms kind of developing on the southern side of this, pushing into Leonardtown, Valley Lee, St. Inigoes, and Scotland. This area, though, is not technically under our severe thunderstorm warning. It is just these northern areas here with the orange polygons as these continue to race here to the north and east. I do want to take a look back over here towards our velocity mode, though, see what we have going on. I'm going to come up here, yeah, and you can see really, and actually it's probably easier so I can draw, stick with this program here. I want to see if it allows me to bring that up, though. Okay, so where we have that little bit of rotation right now, I want to see, this is going to show me what I was seeing earlier. Yeah, where we have that little bit of rotation right now is going to be right here. When I'm talking, we want greens and blues to, or not want, but when we're looking for a tornado, this is what I'm talking about when we're looking for a rotation couplet here. So we have these bright greens and these bright reds spinning around each other, westbound, eastbound, north, south. You get that rotation motion here, just to the north only. So that's going to be your rotation center right there, and that's going to be tracking here to the north and east. So potentially coming right towards the Columbia region here over the next half hour or so. Let me go ahead and let's clear that off. I'm going to take a broader look here at everything. Let me come back down here. You can still see, so that shows you what we're looking at when we are looking for the potential for a tornado, this brightness right here. Locally, we don't really have that. You can see where we have smaller areas of a little bit of rotation. There isn't anything overly concise, though, with it. It's not put together well. It's not a tight rotation couplet. You can get bright greens, but we're kind of lacking those red returns right through here. We see the same thing up here towards Waldorf, so you might see some scary-looking clouds right now, but I'm not really seeing a high potential for a tornado. We have a new warning coming on in, and this might be the old warning. I want to see here. Maybe we don't have a new warning. This goes until 1 o'clock. I would love to see. Oh, okay. I can't see it because I wasn't up far enough. There's a small tornado and I wouldn't have seen this small little polygon north of Taneytown, just out of Littlestown, Pennsylvania. So that really has no concern for us right now. Ooh, plenty of talking today. All right. But yeah, you can see where this line is, and this is, I mean, we're really the most concerned right now about this line. You can see where we have a couple of those tornado warnings in effect, and that line just continues further southward. So that's what is bringing us a little bit of that concern with this line, because it's already producing some of those tornadoes right now, or at least those tornado warnings, as it continues to track here to the north and east. And then you can see where we have that heavy rain really right now about to cross the Wicomico River right into Maddox and Chactico here. So again, no active tornado warning, but this severe thunderstorm warning still does continue until 1 o'clock for St. Mary's and Charles County. Calvert County, this will be coming up on you next. Let's get that updated storm track here for you. Manual tracking. And that I don't think really wants to work. So while I wait on that, I want to bring you on over here. Let this reboot. This program's definitely been working overtime, our radar software. So got to reboot it every once in a while. But coming in here, I want to take a look at that rotation potential. Yeah, we were really looking at this here, north of Olney. Yeah, right over here towards Brookville. You see that little bit of green with that red moving right towards Brighton, and then eventually Clarksville and Columbia, I think, are going to be the areas we're talking about with that. But you can see what that looks like up there. We have none of that down here towards Charles or St. Mary's County, which is great news. That tells us that That rotation potential right now is rather low, but what I also would like to do is I want to take a look at Wakefield's radar to get a better look at these southern storms as they're racing north and east, because these storms are also going to have the potential to try to rotate a little bit. See what that is showing us as we let that load on up. And you can see we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings there. Williamsburg area, Gloucester. If we take a look at the rotation potential with these storms, yeah, nothing that's overly concerning at the moment. The only storm with potential rotation looks to be down here near Gloucester, which is quite the ways away. And we actually have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of our local region. This is going to be northern Calvert County, southern Prince George's County, southern Anne Arundel County, and northeastern Charles County here until 1:15. So let me go ahead. Let me get that storm track loaded up here. As this storm continues to track north and east at about 40 miles an hour. And that leads me to believe we'll see an additional severe thunderstorm warning for southern Calvert here pretty soon. So this is going to be that severe thunderstorm warning for northern Calvert, southern Anne Arundel, southern PG, northwestern Charles County till 1:15. All right. We have a new tornado warning also coming in for that Howard County storm. Copy, save. And I'll show you that here in just one moment. As all of these storms continue to track here to the north and east. And we have plenty of warnings coming in here, and my apologies for my extended quietness, but we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning and a brand new tornado warning up here to the north. So this severe thunderstorm warning is going to be for parts of PG and Anne Arundel counties here. And then you see those tornado warnings there for Howard County. 45. Oh. This is the stuff that works me overtime. All right. As soon as I finish this, we are going to come back in here and kind of dissect everything. I'm sure as I finish, we'll probably get a new warning, because that tends to be the case here. But if you are just now joining, hello, I am Forecaster John Bordash with you, continuing to track all of the active weather we have across the region here. Right now, we have this tornado watch in effect that goes until 2 o'clock this afternoon. So for about the next 90 minutes. And we are tracking several severe thunderstorms right now that are justifying the issuance of this watch. So let's reset a little bit. Let's kind of take you large scale now as that's getting itself posted. So we have this entire line here. You see it extends from the Maryland border here down towards the Williamsburg area. Everything's pushing here north and east with several severe thunderstorm warnings. We're now actually starting to get some damage reports in too from the Dahlgren area. Reported wind gusts up over 40 to 60 miles an hour as this line is pushed through. This line has prompted a tornado warning for parts of Howard County and severe thunderstorm warnings for the Baltimore metro area, northern Anne Arundel, and northern PG County. That goes until 1:15. We have an additional severe thunderstorm warning for southern Anne Arundel County, northern Calvert, southern PG, and northeastern Charles County, rather. That goes until 1:15. And we have an additional severe thunderstorm warning till 1 o'clock for parts of northern St. Mary's County and southern Charles County. That goes until 1 o'clock. So this entire line here, if we let this radar loop itself, you can see how it's racing here to the north and east, prompting several tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. So all of southern Maryland remains under a tornado watch. That means we're watching for that potential of a tornado. Nothing confirmed in our region right now as these storms continue to push here to the north and east. Let's get a brand new storm track on it, and sometimes let me come over here. We'll take a look at the rotation while we let this bad boy reboot once again. It is just doing too much. So we will let that load up. But we're going to be tracking all of this. And really what I want to show you right now is going to be those tornado safety precautions. And yeah, Michael is saying plenty of polygons right now. Yeah, we have a lot of different warnings in effect. So those tornado safety precautions, again, no active tornado warnings in our region right now, but any storm has the potential to spin up this afternoon. So if you are under even just a severe thunderstorm warning, I would be moving into a substantial shelter that has a foundation. Not a mobile home, not a trailer, not a shed. You want to get to the lowest level of your home. That's either going to be a basement or a first floor. Move into an interior room and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And you want to cover your body a little bit too if these storms do try to spin up a quick tornado. Let me come back on over here. Again, you can see all the warnings. Our program is running at near high volume right now, which isn't surprising. Let's get that storm track though loaded up for you, coming here through PG, Charles, and St. Mary's counties right now, and we're tracking this northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So we're pushing this into Lesby here in about the next 15 minutes or so. So stay weather aware for that. This line of storms is pushing into Prince Frederick over the next 15 minutes as well, getting into Huntingtown here as we push on over towards, let's call that right around 12:45. Chesapeake Beach as we head on over towards 12:50. Annapolis in about half an hour. Granted, you'll see some rain out ahead of it. We do now have 2 tornado warnings in effect to the north, which I do want to take a look at for our followers up in this region. So these are 2 separate tornado warnings for Howard County. The first one here is for northwestern Howard County. That goes until 12:45. Our newest tornado warning is for southeastern parts of Howard County. That goes until 1 o'clock. So that's a separate cell right now, pushing towards Columbia and Elk Ridge. So any interest up here near Jessup, Severin, Glen Burnie, Ferndale, on over towards Brooklyn Park, stay aware of this storm as it tracks just to your west. Zooming out, I don't see any additional tornado warnings, which is great news. But we are starting to pick up the activity here a little bit as we come down here into southern St. Mary's County as these storms start to kind of outrace a little bit. I want to see if we have any rotation with these bad boys since they're by themselves. Let's come over here to level 2. I'm going to take a look at that base velocity for you. No warnings for this part of our region right now. Looks like level 2 doesn't want to work with us. But what I do see here on radar a little bit, and I just come over here quickly. Yeah, there's a little bit of rotation with these storms. Nothing overly significant though. We can see where the red kind of bends in a little bit here, and then you get a little bit of that inflow notch here. Again, that's that mix matching rotation couplet. It's kind of elongated, not concise, not put together, so that would lead to the a little bit of rotation, nothing, tight or put together at all. But these storms are strengthening as they race here to the north and east, and these will definitely become a concern as they cross the bay here on over towards the eastern shore. Then we have the southern part of this line is pushing through Westmoreland County right now, has just pushed through Tappahannock, getting on over towards the Leonardtown area. What I want to do is take a look at our cameras right now, see what they're showing. Let me bring you on over. And yeah, so this is going to be Leonardtown here. You can see that heavy rain. The wind is strong enough that it's moving the camera around a little bit. So this is 5 at 2:43. Let's come on over here towards California. Not raining just yet here at the 4-235 intersection. But what we can see is that it's starting to get that little bit of an eerie feeling. Coming up here towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge, no rain there just yet, and down here towards Great Mills. Yeah, nothing overly concerning at the moment, but I'm sure you're hearing that thunder off in the distance right now. Yeah, so that's what what I want to do is to adequately show you everywhere that's under a warning right now. Let me take some of these off. Everywhere shaded right now, that's a different warning. And you can see where we have these different storms kind of add the increased lightning amount kind of shows you what we're talking about. So the worst weather right now, pushing just south of DC, getting towards Clinton. Up here, getting into Hillcrest Heights. An additional hefty storm just pushed through Waldorf, getting into Bryantown. Down here, getting to Mechanicsville, Wicomico Shores, then down here into St. Inigos. That kind of shows you where everything is at the moment. I do want to take a look, because I've seen some of your comments mentioning power outages. I want to see if they've updated, if they have a look at power outage numbers right now. So let's see. Actually, right now, Specco's only reporting up to 1,100 customers without power. Or, 1,100, 11. So that is great news. But the worst of this weather right now is really getting ready to push into northern Calvert County. You can see where we have the strongest storms right now, producing plenty of lightning. I want to see if we can get a look at the estimated hail size. And I don't know if this wants to work with me just yet, so we might need to come on over here. Look at hail size. A little bit of hail near St. Mary's City. Definitely picking up on that hail, a little bit of a hail core south of Horsehead, north of Hughesville here, where you get that little bit of blue shading. And yeah, a little bit of hail up here near Fulton, Maryland. That would be where those tornado warnings are in effect. Take a look at that rotation up this way. Storm relative, nothing. Yeah, you can see that little bit of rotation up in that region. And yeah, I'm really not seeing too much rotation in our local area, which is great news. Ooh. So we have these nasty storms that are just now pushing out of southern St. Mary's County. You have another round getting ready to cross Westmoreland, are coming from Westmoreland County, getting ready to cross the Potomac here, though, into southern St. Mary's County. The Plato, it looks like you're seeing a little bit of clearing right now. Nasty weather is really pushing through Mechanicsville here, right up along 235, getting into Leonardtown. Another nasty storm, and I'm definitely watching this little bit of a hook right here. This little guy south of Lower Marlboro, and actually, I guess what I was looking at was a little further north. I need two panels here. So this would be our radar velocity split screen here. Kind of allows me to see two things at one time. Yeah, so even where we have a little bit of an inflow notch here, there isn't really an inbound wind right now. So yeah, these storms up here to the north, those really are our only concern right now. There really isn't anything overly concerning um, with these southern storms, aside from the fact that they're producing gusty winds. Now, this storm up here near Crew might start to warrant a little bit of watching because we're seeing some of those, what try to be grays or greens, kind of match up with this bright red couplet right here. We'll see if that's able to rotate. If so, that could potentially become a problem for Bristol, Dunkirk, Tracy's Landing, Friendship, and Churchton over the next hour or so. And we'll watch this little guy here northwest of Lower Marlborough. That could become an issue for Dunkirk, Mount Harmony, Sunderland, and the beaches as it races here to the east. But the further south you headed with this line right now, I'm not seeing too much of a concern here with rotation, which is great news. Shoot back over here. I want to see if I can get that updated storm timing. I'm sure I will. Oh, actually I can. Let's get this together. I'm going to push this northeast at 45 miles per hour. So Huntingtown, this is right on your doorstep right now. This is pushing here into Prince Frederick in the next couple of minutes. Leslie, you're seeing some rain. The worst of it's going to be over you in about the next 10 minutes or so. Moving into Solomon's, Chesapeake Ranch Estates around the same time. We're pushing here into the Annapolis region in about the next 20 minutes or so. Shadyside in about the next 15 minutes. Now it looks like the National Weather Service is still continuing those dual tornado warnings here for Howard County. Granted, it looks like the worst of the weather with this northern polygon has exited, and they're just going to let this expire here at 12:45. This southern polygon continues to go until 1 o'clock. No update from the National Weather Service in the last 10 minutes on this or so. So we will definitely wait on that. But once this main line pushes through, let me take you on over here towards Futurecast. This rendered earlier this morning. You can see that we get that main line pushing through. First round moves in with strong storms and that tornado threat. Once that pushes out by 2 o'clock, we see a break in the action during the afternoon. But then you see additional storms back up towards the west try to fire up, and those might try to push on in here as we head towards 6, 7, 8 o'clock or so this evening. So we'll watch for that potential. I do want to take a look at one of our weather models quickly. I want to see if we're getting any update on that front. So yeah, let me take you. So this would be our HRRR model. This is a model that updates every hour. So as we push this through, this would be 12 o'clock, and it looks like it's a little further. Oh, I guess that's where it was at 12. But you can see it pushes these storms through our region here over the next hour or so, and then we get into, if not clearing, just some dry time by 6, 7 o'clock. But you can still see it tries to develop those storms out west. The question is, will there be enough juice left over after these initial storms to keep them going as they push east? This is 10 o'clock. It's not typical we get strong to severe thunderstorms that late at night. While we do get heavy rain, it's hard for us to get severe storms that late because new severe thunderstorm warning here now for southern Calvert and St. Mary's counties, just because we lose the heating of the day. And the National Weather Service does note that there is the potential for a tornado here with these storms as they continue to push to the east. So what I want to do, I'm going to leave you with up with this as I get this posted on over to social media right now. Let's see. So this is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for St. Mary's County and Calvert County until 1:30 this afternoon. Let's get that posted on over to Twitter. And it looks like the northern part of this line is actually starting to spawn some tornado warnings on up towards State College. I do want to take a look at that here in just a moment after we get everything together with this line. And actually, it's a tornado warning for the county I live in. Up here. So I'm in Mechanicsburg, so that tornado warning is just north of me. But coming back down here, so again, severe thunderstorm warning. This is for St. Mary's and Calvert County until 1:30. At 12:45, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Prince Frederick to near Sheridan Point to Coles Point, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. The main hazard here is with 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, but there's that potential for some rotation as well. Damaging winds will cause some trees and large branches to fall. This could injure those outdoors as well as damage to homes and vehicles. Roadways may become blocked by downed trees. Localized power outages are possible, and unsecured light objects may become projectiles. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Lexington Park, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Leonardtown, Prince Frederick, Piney Point, Tall Timbers, St. Inagos Creek, St. Mary City, Greenhill State Park, Howling Point, St. Leonard Creek, Breezy Point, Town Creek, St. Mary's River, White Point Beach, Cuckold Creek, St. George Island, Sheridan Point, Calvert Cliffs, and Flag Harbor. So that would be the latest information on this. I want to see if we do have that, if we're able to get into this velocity mode. If this wants to get its act together, I can't keep, there we go. And yeah, the National Weather Service is highlighting the potential for a little bit of rotation. I'm not seeing anything that's overly concerning at the moment. They might just be putting that tag on there just as a general heads up, but I don't see any concise areas of rotation at the moment. Let's come back over here. So yeah, this is just a general look at everything we have pushing through right now. That tornado watch will continue until 2 o'clock, but it has been canceled now for areas to the west of us. Fredericksburg area is now out of the tornado watch. Southern locations go with the tornado watch until 6. Our region here in Southern Maryland will go until 2. So everywhere shaded in red is that tornado watch. And then, yeah, this would be the storm that I guess I should be paying attention to, but I'm not. That's what, maybe 10 miles north of me, that little tornado warning. But we do still have a tornado warning here for Howard County. It looks like the worst of this storm is now actually pushed into the Columbia area. And the worst of this is also right now pushing here into Sunderland, pushing from Dunkirk, getting into southern Anne Arundel County, pushing through Prince Frederick. Some of the winds we're noting with this line would be not noting any. Oh, we'll see. We're not picking up on an organized wind threat right now. It looks to be much more just scattered instances of damaging winds right now. But those wind gusts could potentially get upwards here of 60 miles an hour. We could also be talking about a little bit of hail as well with some of the strongest parts of these storms, such as down here near Cheneyville and Sunderland. This part of the storm here, pushing from Cheneyville to Sunderland across 4, getting now just south of the 4-2 split here coming towards the beaches. This would be a little bit of hail. Use some pretty nasty weather crossing the Patuxent River right now, getting towards Route 4 from St. Leonard down to Lesby, down to the Chesapeake Ranch Estates and Solomons. And then you saw a little bit of action earlier down here in St. Mary City and Ridge. You saw a little bit of calming in the activity, but then we have this round of storms to your south and west. It's going to be pushing on in. And there's maybe something, we'll see. We don't have any organized areas of rotation at the moment, but that could very quickly change. You can kind of see what looks to be a wannabe hook down there towards Heathsville, but I think it's really just 3 storms in the same area at the same time, not necessarily an organized area of rotation. But that's pretty much everything right now. these storms are pushing through. They're beginning to pick up in their forward motion. So I would expect the worst of this will push through our region over the next 15 to 20 minutes. I would think it might take you closer to half an hour down towards southern St. Mary's County, but you should be able to get in on some, if not clearing some dry time by about 2 o'clock or so, 2:30. It looks like we have some reminiscent areas of rain back to the south and west of us, but that isn't severe. That's just rain-cooled air as that continues to filter in behind. Yeah, the highest tornado threat is really going to be right up along and just to the east of these storms. What I want to quickly show you, that is over here. So if you've seen me periodically looking over to the side, it's because I've been looking at this other screen that has this radar product. It kind of shows me everything I need to see, and this updates pretty quickly. What I want to do is turn actually everything off for the time being and show you where we have, so that highest tornado potential is where you see, it's where you especially have these yellow colors, but also where you get some of these blue colors. This is your highest tornado potential right now, and this is going to be right up along and then just out ahead of the main line of storms right now. It's my mesofill. Here we go. High amounts of storm energy is going to be right where these storms are. Once these storms push through, we're lacking in storm energy back to the west, which is great news. That tells us that once these storms move through, we're going to need to tap into a significant amount of sunshine to destabilize the atmosphere again and lead to an additional severe weather threat in our region. But it looks like they have now canceled that tornado warning that's in effect out towards Howard County. They continue it just to the north of me, but that's about it. And you can really kind of see where this line is right through here, from Bowie down here through parts of our region. This is a look at our rotation tracks. This shows us where we've seen a decent amount of rotation, where you get those like yellows and reds. And you can see where we've been looking at a little bit of rotation, tracking north and east over the last hour, pushing from Dahlgren, from Pope's Creek, Dentsville, Hughesville, getting towards Eagle Harbor, Dunkirk as well. No active tornado warnings, but those would be the areas where we've seen at least a little bit of rotation this afternoon. Let me take you on over here. We have an update to the severe thunderstorm warning for St. Mary's County. The severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 1 o'clock for just central St. Mary's and eastern Charles County with the initial warning. Main hazard is 60-mile-an-hour gusts. Give me 1 second. Y'all know I have to peep the scene. We have some heavy rain outside. So this small warning, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's a small sliver of a polygon left. And this is when you kind of wish they would just issue just one warning and not all these different polygons. It makes this a little messy. But so that's pretty much what we have going on. The worst of it's pushing through Calvert County right now. Really just a long Route 4. That's a pretty nasty drive, I'm sure. I do want to see where what our Thomas Johnson camera is able to show us. Yeah, so let me take this full screen. So this would be the scene on over towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge. This is on the St. Mary side looking towards Calvert County. You can see where you have those trees blowing around a little bit. You can see the hint of heavy rain as well as these storms push on through. Again, nothing too crazy. It seems at the moment just your typical localized downpour and heavy rain pushing through. This is meeting severe weather criteria, but just barely, it seems like. It doesn't seem overly, it doesn't seem too crazy. A new severe thunderstorm watch in effect for our friends north and east. So for our friends out here in Delaware and Caroline, Kent, Queen Anne's, and Talbot counties, and on up towards PA and the Philadelphia area. That area is now under a severe thunderstorm watch till 7 this evening. Let's see, Ashley's... John, any serious concerns for the weather in the Owings Mill area of Baltimore County? Actually, up here, Owings Mills, you are on, northwestern, yeah, there you are, Owings Mills. Actually, the worst of it's pushing through for you right now. You're under that severe thunderstorm warning, but that worst of the weather's pushing through right now, and then you'll gradually see things clear up here over the next 20 minutes or so. But yeah. Ooh. Excuse me, I wasn't able to fully enjoy my coffee this morning. We got this tornado watch pretty early this morning, which required me to hop right into severe weather mode. But I do want to come on over here as we zoom in again on our double screen radar. You can see where we have those small little mesovortices trying to spin up a little bit out here towards Harwood along Route 2, Tracy's Landing along Route 2. Those would be those small little mesovortices that have been trying to spin up since this line crossed the Potomac. Nothing overly concerning, though. These are very young and very infant, so I'm not overly concerned right now with those. But, it is something to mention. So it looks like we're starting to see a little bit of an uptick here in our lightning counts across the bay. Adams, Cobb Island with a tornado emoji. I don't know if Cobb Island saw a tornado. You're under a tornado watch. Severe thunderstorm warning. Sam, I don't see that in our system just yet for Queen Anne's. You are under a severe thunderstorm watch, though, which is just a little bit different for you. But as we continue to push on through, let me take you back over here towards Futurecast and let this loop a little bit. You can see how it's really timing everything out. That first round of storms right now. We get a little bit of a break this afternoon, but then we see additional rounds of heavy rain push through this evening after about 6. So just because we get this through doesn't mean we're done by any stretch of the imagination. And we see those storms push through overnight, gradually clearing by sunrise tomorrow. But yeah, we are starting to see some of the worst weather pushing here through southern parts of Calvert County, parts of St. Mary's County right now, right there along Route 4. And as I take a look back over here to our Thomas Johnson camera, you can see where you get those big drops, winds pushing the trees around a little bit, some reduced visibility where typically you can see a little bit further, but now you can. Again, I don't want to say it's nothing too concerning because if you're in it, you're like, what's going on? But this is just barely meeting severe requirements right now. I think this warning is much more in case we see a brief spin up. So I can quickly transition that to a tornado warning if needed, but I don't see any evidence of that at the moment. But once this main line pushes through, we're knocking out that tornado watch. So if you're over here towards Huntington, really northern Calvert County, it's still raining pretty heavy, and you probably still have some thunder and lightning outside. But the worst of it's pretty much over for you. The worst of that's pushed out towards the bay. Worst of it's moving through Tracy's Landing and Lothian right now. Yeah, and Sharon's saying rain was sideways for a little bit, but it's all better now. I totally believe that because these storms are racing. They're really picked up on their forward motion as they've pushed north and east. So where they were only moving at 25 to 30 miles an hour earlier this morning, they've picked up to moving northeast about 45, 50 miles an hour right now. Karen's saying that it's coming through Twin Beaches right now. And again, if you come up here, you can really see where that worst of that's kind of pushed through. And as these push through, they will bring in that stiff first gust of wind that can really cause some issues. But once that initial push comes through, you'll see things gradually clear up a little bit, which is good news. And we have a brand new tornado warning now up here for parts of Anne Arundel and Baltimore counties. This now goes until 1:15. This does include the Glen Burnie area. Let me come on in here. This is the southern half of the Baltimore Metro. And since this is in our formal coverage zone, I'm sure this warning will get pushed out to social media, so I need to take care of that quick. Now, come on. Sometimes like Facebook is just one of the oh god, it really is one of the worst platforms I have to use. Just like the interface in it. Oh. I can definitely see a little bit of lightning outside my window. I will. And there's the thunder. So let me go ahead. Let me copy. I'm going to save that. I don't want to chat directly with customers with this post. So once I get this posted up, whenever Twitter would like to work with me, let's get into the details of this warning right now. All right, so yeah, this is going to be your severe thunderstorm warning right now. This is northern parts of Anne Arundel County, southern parts of Baltimore County. This goes until 1:15 this afternoon. At 1:01, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Southgate or over Severn, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Main hazard here is going to be, of course, the potential for a tornado, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well. For those in the direct path of a potential tornado touchdown, flying debris will become dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, and windows may occur. Mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed. Tree damage is likely as well with this storm. This dangerous storm will be near Severna Park around 1:05, Ferndale and Greenhaven around 1:10, Riviera Beach, Sparrows Point, Fort Smallwood State Park, North Point State Park, Glen Barney, Dundalk, Pasadena, Lakeshore, and Brooklyn Park around 1:15. Other locations impacted by this tornadic storm include Fort Howard, Gambrels, Edgemere, and Turner's Station. Take cover now when you want to be moving to a basement and taking those tornado safety precautions as these storms push on through. So if you're in this pink polygon here, so again, this is just north of Severna Park. This includes Pasadena, Greenhaven, Riviera Beach, Glen Burnie, Ferndale, Severn, and over here towards Edgemere and Dundalk. If you're in this pink polygon, these are going to be the actions you need to be taking right now. You need to be moving into a substantial shelter that has a foundation, so not a mobile home, trailer, or shed. Move to the lowest level of your home that's either going to be a basement or a first floor, and move into an interior room or a hallway, and you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And you might also want to cover your head and body as these storms push on through. They are pretty strong, and if they were to produce a tornado, you want to protect yourself from the elements. But zooming back out here, that's the northern part of this line for us locally. The worst weather has really cleared much of the region. The only areas right now still dealing with nasty storms, it's going to be far southern Calvert County and then far southern St. Mary's County. So in these areas, you saw this initial little burst of rain push through. You saw some calming, and then you see this additional push of rain coming through right now. But the worst of it really does look to be moving out across the bay. So you should see things calm down a little bit. Additional rain is going to be moving through this afternoon, but definitely nowhere near as severe as this initial push of rain right now. Coming back up here to our tornadically warned storm, I want to see if we have a velocity scan on this. And I don't even know why I tried. Just come over here. So yeah, a little bit of rotation here near Southgate. That's not the best look though. And no shortage of lightning or thunder where I'm at. But yeah, so this would be generally a little bit of rotation in the Glen Burnie area. Not the most concise look on radar though. If I come over here, I'm not saying that this isn't warranted, but I'm really not even seeing, like, I see almost nothing. And that could very well just be our product here acting up a little bit. And yeah, I mean, here over towards Greenhaven, this would be a little bit of rotation, but it's not the best. You see how we have two separate areas of green here? That's a little bit discombobulated a little bit. Joe says not really what. Not really what. But yeah, so this is just kind of generally what we're looking at. Let's see. Katie says lights keep flickering on and off. Still a power. Still hearing thunder. Had a random burst of downpour and heavy winds. Multiple trees down in my yard. Calm now though. So Katie, I'm not sure exactly where you are, but I'm sure that would be true almost anywhere in our local region. It looks like this is the old warning. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, like, this is such a small little polygon that just has to be the old warning. They have updated the severe thunderstorm warning though for our southern areas, and again, this is the only region right now that has nasty nastiest weather. But the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 1:30 for southeastern St. Mary's and southeastern Calvert counties. 108 severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Calvert Cliffs to near the Patuxent River Naval Air Station to near Louisetta, moving northeast at now 50 miles per hour. Again, the main hazard here, it says tornado possible. The main hazard here really is just going to be heavy rain and gusty winds. I just saw a bright flash of lightning that lit up my entire window. Oh. I don't know if you saw in real time my jump. Boy, was that close. Oh. Whew. All right. God, wow. But yeah, so I see, Joe, you said up near Millersville with that tornadically warned storm. Yeah, it doesn't look the most organized. And yeah, Katie, that was loud. That was loud. I saw the bright flash, and I'm actually surprised that we didn't lose any power. But yeah, this tornadically warned storm south of Baltimore isn't too, it's nasty, but it's not too organized. Yeah, Jasmine, that was loud. And I'm sure all of you in Southern Maryland have had your own instances of lightning. But as these storms cross the bay, new severe thunderstorm warning out for northern parts of the eastern shore. Talbot County, parts of Caroline County, Queen Anne's, and Kent County for you. But yeah, this is pretty much, we've pretty much pushed almost this entire line out of our region. But, you know, that's pretty much it for right now. So I'm going to get going. A, I want to make sure everything's okay outside. But B, there isn't much else to talk about right now. That tornado watch remains in effect until 2 o'clock. So for about the next 40 minutes or so. But that's pretty much it. I mean, if I were to show you a more nationalized look at radar right now, behind this, we're really kind of calming things down. Our next area to watch is all the way back here into West Virginia. And we'll see how that kind of gets its act together as it races here to the east. So stay weather aware the rest of today. We're going to get a little bit of a break in the activity by about 3 or 4 o'clock. And then we'll see how this additional potential line tries to get its act together. But we'll see. I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Thanks for joining me over the last hour and a half as we track these storms pushing through. Stay safe. Stay tuned to JB Weather. I'll continue to keep you updated on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the website, YouTube. I'll have updates everywhere. So have a nice and safe one. Keep it tuned right here to JB Weather. And please stay safe out there.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.